Hartford's ancient burying ground is the oldest historic site in the capital city and the final resting place of its founders, colonial leaders, and families. An excellent first stop on a magical history tour of historic Hartford. Entering from Gold Street or viewed from a neighboring high-rise, the ancient burying ground is a place of mystery and allure. Although located on the grounds adjoining Hartford's first church, it was a civic, not a religious burying ground. Here is the Founders Monument. It lists all the founding heads of household that settled Hartford in the 1630s. Almost 500 tablets, table stones, and monuments tell the story of Hartford's colonial past. The earliest tablets are in the Puritan plain style, plain brownstone tablets with simple borders and simple inscriptions. Timothy Stanley on the left died in 1648, the earliest dated marker in the burying ground. The earliest Connecticut Valley gravestones with winged angels were produced at the Middletown quarries of Thomas Johnson beginning in the 1720s. With their flowers and vines, pinwheels, dark eye sockets, and scowling teeth, these stones are a reminder of impending death. Heads up for folk art, the ancient burying ground is a veritable museum without walls. Then came the American Revolution and the New Republic with its fascination with Roman classical ornament and memorial customs. Here is a classical urn and willow from about 1800. Then there's all this amazing history. This tablestone marks the grave of the Reverend Thomas Hooker, founder and pastor of Hartford's first church and author of the Fundamental Orders, the source of Connecticut's claim as the world's oldest continuous constitutional elected government. He died in 1647. Joseph Talcott was a prolific political leader whose 20 years as governor and deputy governor was rare. One of the most fascinating families buried here are the Ledyards. John Ledyard, whose tablestone is on the left, was born in England and came to America at age 19 and settled in Groton, Connecticut as a schoolmaster, where he raised his grandson, John Ledyard, the famous explorer. Ebenezer Watson was the patriot printer of the Hartford Courant who shaped its editorial voice during the turbulent years between the Stamp Act crisis of 1765 and the outbreak of the American Revolution in 1775. Hartford's answer to Paul Revere was a mechanical genius named Enos Doolittle, a silversmith and clockmaker who developed the first bell foundry in Connecticut. It wasn't all Anglos. In addition to Africans and Scotch-Irish, early 18th century Hartford attracted a sizable community of French Huguenots. John Beauchamp and Captain John Chenavard were successful international trade merchants. A bigger news story involved the blowing up of the school, an accident where a group of young men preparing fireworks for the Stamp Act repeal celebration were killed when the explosives ignited and blew up the school building that, get this, doubled as an armament storage facility. Levi Jones and Richard Burnham died in the incident. In the 1990s, a monument was erected to commemorate the 400 African American slaves buried here, none of whom have personal monuments. The 1890s restoration of the ancient burying ground was a pioneering effort in restoration technology and historic preservation, spearheaded by Emily Holcomb, shown here. The site was in poor shape at the time, and many of the stones were disintegrating. In the 1980s, the Ancient Burying Ground Association undertook a new restoration campaign that continues to this day. Other stones had lost most of their inscriptions. Patching compounds and recarved lettering made a difference. This is what Ebenezer Watson's stone looked like. Too badly damaged to repair, it was reproduced. Today, the Ancient Burying Ground Association cares for the site, provides tours, advocacy, and sponsored this video. It is an important mission. If you would like to support the work or learn more, contact us at theancientburyingground.org. Thank you and enjoy visiting Hartford, a great place at the heart of New England.